it's Sam. Welcome to my training vlog. I'm an active duty Navy senior chief and a powerlifter, and I'm on week 7 of an 8-week cut with RP. My cut is almost over. I have a little over a week left, about 10 days. My last video, I explained that after that check-in, I was going to experience a couple challenges in the month of February. And we're in the middle of the month of February now, and those challenges have come to pass, and they've had a couple different results. The first challenge I was going to experience in the first week of February was some traveling. And I did travel. I went to San Diego for a week, where I just moved from, so I'm really familiar with San Diego. It's not much of an adventure for me at this point, because I just spent the last 12 years of my career in the San Diego region. So I just got to eat some of the food that I missed, and I didn't do any exploring due to the nature of the trip. The second challenge was a week of a different work schedule. So I had a class, and my class was on the same base that I work on, and my schedule so far, I haven't had to be at work every single day, and even when I am at work, our work hours are pretty nice. We're on shore duty. I get off pretty early, but that was not what this class was going to be. So this past week that I just finished, every day I was going to the base, and I was there for a solid 8 or 9 hours every day, and then having to drive home in like peak traffic is very demoralizing. But so that's where we're at for this check-in. We'll talk about the week in San Diego first. That actually went surprisingly well. I was not able to drink water at the frequency that I've been setting the goal for, so I was not hitting my water requirements because we were doing a lot of walking. We were on different ships. I don't want to have to use a ship bathroom if I don't have to. The option is basically porta potties, and I didn't want to do that either, so I elected to basically not drink water, which is a crappy option, but that's what I did. Food-wise, it was very, very difficult to track food, so I pretty much stopped tracking. Instead, what I did was ate minimally during the day, and then I had like one big-ish dinner meal. And my meals during the day consisted of like a protein shake for breakfast, a protein shake for lunch, and maybe a snack if I could get my hands on something, but otherwise not really eating until dinner time. And that worked out for me, at least from what I could tell. The other thing that I wasn't able to do, I normally weigh myself when I first wake up in the morning after I've gone to the bathroom, and that is like my most realistic day-to-day check-in. But I chose to not bring a scale because I couldn't fit it in my luggage. Although, you know, in the past I have done that, I brought my scale with me. So I could not weigh myself in my hotel room. So I was only able to weigh myself after the workday was done and we were off doing our own thing. I did weigh myself on the scheduled days that I was required to. I had to weigh myself at the base gyms, which is not the worst thing in the world because the ones that I saw at least were digital scales, so that's something. But besides the fact that it was not the first thing in the morning, I also had to stay clothed. So I normally weigh myself buck naked, you know, to try to get the clearest picture of things and not make excuses in my head, and I was not able to be naked for any of my weigh-ins in San Diego. Those weigh-ins, however, being that they were later in the day after I'd consumed food, they indicated a positive trend still, so I was still trending in the correct direction. I'm not totally sure, because of what I've explained, what I was able to get to, but my final weigh-in, I think I did it on the Thursday before we left, was pretty good. I attribute that to my food moderation, and then also every day we were getting more than 12,000 steps going to visit these ships and walking up and down piers and walking back and forth from our parking locations and walking sometimes to get food. So I knocked steps out of the park for the whole trip, Monday to Thursday. And my mitigations with food seemed to work. I did not drink water. I got decent sleep. Our working hours were pretty good still. Yeah, overall, the San Diego trip was a surprising success. When I came home and I finally was able to weigh myself again, it seemed in line with what I had seen on the scales in San Diego. So that week actually seemed like it worked out. It was good. I'll show you some stuff. San Diego week complete. I flew home, and so I got to spend one evening with my husband who was in town from Japan, and we decided to throw, you know, all cares to the wind and have a really big dinner. Well, not big, but like, we had Chick-fil-A. We had a bad dinner, and when I had to take him to the airport and fly him out, I got my 2 gym days last weekend, but it kind of set in motion what ended up being a bad week for me. So San Diego, that trip, surprisingly, as far as hitting all the wickets I needed to, was surprisingly successful. And then when I came home, and this work week, at a class on base, plus 8 hours every day, plus traffic, which I know sounds like a bunch of excuses. Many people have it worse. In fact, I've had it worse in the past, working at different ships and stuff. Even I know I've had it worse. But man, this week has totally tanked me. Hi there, Editing Sam here. I am going to cut this video off before we get into the details of the week following my San Diego trip, because it made this video a bit too long and I don't want to bore you guys to death. So we'll save that for the next one. But thank you for tuning in. Thanks for hearing about my San Diego trip, and I will see you in the next one.